Hello and welcome to Careizona. I'm Wiebke Achterwinter.
And I'm Jesper Stegers. Thanks for joining us. Today we'll find out about caring for the animals of northern Arizona. We will go on a trip to several locations in northern Arizona, and additionally we have a special guest with us later on today. Let's get started.
First, let's go to Out of Africa Wildlife Park. Our reporter Michael Pijnenburg introduces us to a number of interesting animals and their loving caretakers.
We are here at Arizona's most peaceful place considering wildlife, a home to all called Out of Africa. My name is Michael Pijnenburg, and right now we're going to meet all its precious inhabitants. Let's go! Out of Africa is a one-of-a-kind animal reserve. The park is located just 50 minutes south of Flagstaff, founded in 1988 by Dean and Prairie Harrison. With over 100 exotic animals, Out of Africa is a special place unlike others. Caregiver Daniel can tell us all about it.
Normal zoos, one thing in particular is a lot smaller habitats. That's one thing that always really bothered me. At other facilities, you'll see a lot of cats or other animals pacing. Pacing is a neurotic, bored thing that they do because they just don't know what else to do. You don't really see that here because they have a lot of room. They get a lot of enrichment. Of course, we're a full contact facility, so we go in with our animals. And that in itself, going in with the animals, is enrichment in itself. Going in and socializing with them. They actually love the attention. They love to get scratched. It's just like your house cat, If your house cat weighed 400 pounds, there's some things you'd have to do different, yeah, they love the attention. And we do everything we possibly can because of that relationship. There's a lot of things we can do with them. We can take them places. We can take them to the arena. We can take them to other empty habitats just for fun. Because of that relationship, there's a lot of things we can do and enrich their lives. So they don't really get bored around here. There's a lot of things we get to do with them.
As for the predators, it seems like they've found their place for peace, love, and care. However, creatures like reptiles often get misunderstood and mistreated. Here in Out of Africa, there is a place for everyone. So let's listen to Zach, how he explains about his love for snakes.
Snakes are great animals, and Out of Africa is a great place for snakes, and for all the animals for that. But here we try to take in, as many snakes, regardless of the story or the situation, whether it's somebody who owns them and has to move, or for whatever reason can't keep the animal, or if they come in from a worse situation. But Out of Africa is unlike any other place in the world.
Zach gave us the chance to experience the extraordinary giant snake show. Carrying a 16-foot, 120-pound snake on your shoulder is quite something. This beautiful snake called Apollo was actually Zach's own. He tells us why it now belongs to the park.
I donated Apollo to the park 3 years ago. He was a personal pet. While having Apollo, I wasn't married or have any kids. Got married, wound up having children. The wife and I thought it was a little much to have a 16-foot, 110-pound snake in the house with small children. So decided to donate him to a good home. Got a hold of Dean Harrison of Out of Africa Wildlife Park. Dean took Apollo in, called every month to make sure he was doing okay. And about 6 months later, Dean offered me a position in the reptile department. And then 2 years later, wound up becoming the reptile manager here at Out of Africa.
This wonderful day has sadly come to an end. But having the chance to meet these wonderful animals and their loving caregivers is just amazing. For Careizona, this was Michael Pijnenburg.
Thank you very much, Michael. It really is an incredible place, and we had a great time. If you want to know more about Out of Africa, check out their website, outofafricapark.com.
Coming up now is Melissa Hanneman, who's visiting the Coconino Humane Association and Second Chance Animal Center. Get ready for an emotional dose of cuteness, and most of these animals are still looking for a loving home.
I'm Melissa Hanneman, and we're here at Coconino Humane Association. Coconino's mission is to act as a caring and humane shelter and give aid to unwanted, abandoned, and mistreated animals across Flagstaff and northern Arizona. Since 1955, Coconino Humane Society has been taking care of approximately 4,500 animals each year. This year is the first year that they rescued horses. Executive Director Michelle Ryan tells us their stories.
All 4 of these horses are from the Havasupai Nation, which is a tribal nation that their main reservation is within the Grand Canyon, in the west, one of the west forks of the Grand Canyon. They're hardworking animals. They are very athletic. You know, they're running up and down the 8.5 miles from the bottom of the Grand Canyon out, and they're not being provided enough food and water to be able to sustain their body weight, so they start to lose weight. Well, as they lose weight, those packs start rubbing and they create huge wounds that have been really hard for us to get healed up. We're full right now with dogs and cats, so I couldn't pull any of our kennel staff to take care of the horses. So what that ended up meaning was our office staff are the ones taking care of the horses. These are our first major horse project. So we've had these guys since, I think, April 14th, and 2 months of rehabilitation, and we've got a long ways to go.
As a first-level rescue shelter, Coconino Humane Association does not shy away from taking in any kind of animal. Caretaker John Robidoux tells us about the responsibilities of being a first-level shelter.
So we have to have a certain amount of kennels open over the weekend when we're not here, so animal control can bring in dogs. And so when we're full, that's when we call Second Chance, and that's when they come in and help us out.
Second Chance is one of the second-level partner shelters of Coconino. Director of Animal Services Mark Markussen explains what it means to be a second-level shelter.
We rescue from the rescues. So all these other rescues are taking animals strays or taking them as people are giving them up. And we actually are just trying to lower the population stress of those shelters so that they don't have to euthanize.
As a result of the partnership between Second Chance and Coconino, they have reached a 97% living rate as of January 2016. However, Second Chance does so much more. Community Engagement Director Jamie Hassapis tells us about it.
Second Chance is an open paw rescue center. By open paw, it's an enrichment center. If you notice here, when you come here, we don't have our cats in condos or kennels. They're free roaming in rooms, which we call cat apartments right now. It gives them an environment in which they are enriched, in which they are growing emotionally.
Not just the cat apartments enrich the animals' lives. Another important aspect is hand-feeding the dogs and adjusting their behavior to become adoptable pets.
We do that through our training programs, making sure that we're using positive reinforcement training, never using any tugging or pulling or scare tactics to tell a dog what to do or a cat what to do.
At the end of the day, none of this would be possible without the hardworking employees and volunteers at Coconino and Second Chance. One of the ways you can help them is by adopting a pet from their shelters.
We have a lot of wonderful pets that are waiting for homes right now.
So this is Panda. He is one of the dogs that you can adopt from Humane Association. For Careizona, this is Melissa Hanneman.
Sometimes you wanna go home, sometimes.
And now we have Iris van Dorst visiting with Sean Hawkins from Second Chance Animal Center. And he has brought a special guest.
Hi, I'm Iris van Dorst and I'm here today with Sean Hawkins from the Second Chance Animal Center. Sean, can you introduce us to your lovely friend?
Hi, this is Sassy. Sassy is a 3-year-old spayed German Shepherd mix, and she is a super high energy dog who's looking for a home with somebody who loves to run or jog or hike or who has lots of really active kids. She's really a sweetheart. It's her second time to be on TV.
And how did she end up at the Second Chance Animal Center?
So Second Chance Animal Center has relationships with about 30 different rescue partners, and those rescue partners bring animals to us for adoption. So she was actually found in the White Mountains. She had been hit by a car, and the White Mountains Humane Society was able to provide for her veterinary care, and then they transferred her to us for adoption.
And what else is going on at the shelter right now?
So this weekend is Father's Day, as you know, and Sassy, we're actually waiving her adoption fee this weekend to the right home. And then we're also adopting cats and kittens to dads all day Sunday, free of charge. So if you're a dad and looking for a cat, this is a great weekend to come out and adopt.
And what do we have to do exactly if we want to adopt a dog like her? Or?
So all of our adoptable dogs and cats are available for viewing online at secondchancecenter.org. And then all you have to do is visit the shelter. We're there from 11 to 6, Wednesday through Sunday. And when you come into the shelter, you'll be interviewed by an adoption counselor, and then we have a short adoption contract to fill out, and then you're ready to go. It's a pretty simple process.
Thank you very much. And of course, a big thanks to Sassy. And now back to Jesper.
Thank you.
Thank you, Iris, Sean, and Sassy. If you think Sassy will be a great addition to your family, visit the Second Chance website, secondchancecenter.org. Cats and dogs are not the only animals who are rescued in northern Arizona almost daily. Megan Hofmeister is visiting wildlife caretakers Dave O'Connell at Careizona and Billy Harvey at Running W Wildlife to find out more about rehabilitation of all those precious wild animals.
There are a lot of people in Arizona who dedicate their lives to helping animals. Billy Harvey is one of them, and today we're at his house. He has his own ranch where he rehabilitates wild animals. So let's take a look around. Billy decided to start his own zoo for children to educate them. What started out as a zoo quickly turned into a rehabilitation center.
I just saw like a very big need in the area, and you need to be licensed in order to do it. I was already doing all these other animals and already had the experience, so I figured because I love doing it that I just kind of hopped over to that, and it helps out the community. It's kind of like a community service end of what we do.
Helping animals is not something Billy can do on his own. Dr. Zinda Vasquez, a veterinarian, helps him to patch the animals up first.
Having that just love for those animals, that they are just as important. You know, I think they are just as important as us. I've always thought that since I was a little kid.
One of the animals Dr. Vasquez helped was a black hawk.
It was found with a broken humerus. We gave it to Dr. Vasquez to help us pin it and reset it.
Whenever I get a chance to help one return to the wild, I mean, that's just the greatest thing. How can you beat that? I mean, look how gorgeous that bird is. Yeah, they just lay there like they know that I'm trying to help them and they don't struggle or anything. And then here's the x-rays of the open fracture of his right humerus. And this is him during surgery. See how clean we got everything? He might be able to be released.
Unfortunately, not all animals can be released into the wild. That's where facilities like Careizona come in. Dave O'Connell is the main keeper there. He tells us what Careizona does for rescue animals.
So a lot of our animals here at Careizona are rescue animals. So what they do is we call them three-strike animals. Bear gets into a neighborhood one too many times, and the Game and Fish has to put them down if they get in there 3 times. So they get strike 3, they got to go somewhere. A lot of times those animals get put down, but luckily enough here at Careizona we have room so we can take them in. So lots of our animals are rescues in that way.
The most important thing Dave gets out of his job is the relationship he has with the animals.
I do this job because I love animals. I'm passionate about animals, and it's fun to be able to come here and have a relationship. We walk into our houses at home and our dogs run up to us and they're like, "Dave, I love to see you." And when I get to come here, there's foxes that do it and bears that do it and porcupines that do it. So it's exciting and it's fun to have that type of relationship with all these. It makes me feel good. And I like that I can help educate the public about our animals and how to keep them around for the rest of our lives.
Thanks to the dedication of all these people, the wildlife in Arizona continues to survive. For Careizona, this is Megan Hofmeister.
If you ever come across an animal that needs to be taken care of because it is seriously injured, please feel free to visit the website runandw.com. Or if you're interested in visiting these precious animals yourself, go check out Careizona in Williams, Arizona.
And finally, Wiebke went to the Grand Canyon Deer Farm to check out the variety of animals they take care of. Let's go and have a look.
We are here at the Grand Canyon Deer Farm in Williams, Arizona today, which more than 15 different animal species call their home. Let's go. Pat and her husband purchased the deer farm in 1987. The story behind them buying the farm doesn't just involve their love for animals, but also for each other.
We have been coming here for over 30 years now. My husband and I used to come here when we were dating. In 1972 was our first visit. We were on our way to the Grand Canyon and we never actually made it to the Grand Canyon. We stopped here and spent the day.
One of the caretakers at the Grand Canyon Deer Farm is Amy, who studied wildlife management and ecology at NAU. She's been working at the farm for about 7 years and is not planning on leaving anytime soon.
The deer farm is a place where people can come and actually interact with the animals one-on-one. They walk into a herd of about 60 or so deer here and they can feed them, and that's unusual, whereas most zoos you'll see them behind an enclosure. Almost all of these animals you can pet as long as they come up and want to be pet.
I'm here in the deer cage right now, and it's possible for all visitors to feed the deer, so you can buy these cups in the beginning and make some new friends. Hello, guys! Besides the deer enjoying treats from visitors, all animals get fed twice a day based upon their nutritional needs. Amy prepares food freshly every morning as part of her daily routine.
I really enjoy working at the deer farm. I've worked with animals my whole life. However, deer are definitely one of my most favorite animals. When I was little, I never got to get so close to deer because they were wild. And so when I came here, I fell in love instantly.
As Amy pointed out, taking care is a very important aspect of the Grand Canyon Deer Farm, which is why they cooperate with different rescue organizations who bring them animals in need of good care.
So this is Gilligan. He came from Game and Fish. They dropped him off here because a family found him in the woods. A lot of times the fawns are left by themselves. The mothers leave them alone, and they don't have any scent, so they're not in danger usually of predators, but humans tend to walk through the woods and find a little fawn by itself, and they think that it's abandoned, but actually it's not. They could not find the place where they had picked him up from, and so Game and Fish brought him here.
Another animal that was rescued is the elk Stormy. By law, it is prohibited to hold elk in captivity, but because he was rescued after his mom was killed, Game and Fish brought him to the farm. Stormy was brought up by the caretakers at the farm, most of which were born with a passion for animals.
As a child, I had a couple of horses, and only for a short time, about 6 months, but I've always had a passion for animals. I'd bring home baby birds and bunnies and whatever was out and needing a home. I do have a relationship with a lot of the animals here because, like I say, a lot of them are bottle raised, and so they know me when I walk out. They usually come over.
Luckily, Pat is able to take care of animals which their owners could not, usually because they underestimate the wild side of these animals.
We have a couple of common marmosets that people had as pets. Everybody thinks little monkeys are cute and they are not dangerous, and I will tell you, little monkeys cannot kill you probably, but they certainly can cause pain. People don't understand that they will bite, and they bite hard.
When visiting the deer farm, families get the chance to interact with animals in the way that would never be possible outside of the farm. It looks like Pat and her husband will be running the farm for many more years, giving rescued wildlife a safe home. Thank you for joining us. For Careizona, I'm Wiebke Achterwinter.
Looks like you had a lot of fun at the deer farm.
Indeed I did. If you guys also want to go to the farm and make some new friends, check the opening hours at deerfarm.com.
We would like to thank all of the organizations that care for animals here in Arizona and that helped us with this show. And if you're interested in helping out the shelters, donations are always appreciated.
Or even better, you can adopt Sassy or other dogs or cats from Second Chance Animal Center or Coconino Humane Association. We had an amazing time visiting all these places with you. For Careizona, I'm Wiebke Achterwinter.
And I'm Jesper Stegers. Have a good day.